I've been just so overwhelmed with the amount of things I'm interested in and wanting to learn more about. I want to be better at photography. I want to be better at filmmaking. And then each one of those, if you dive deep enough, it's like a million things. You have to pick a niche for each one of them. And it doesn't even stop there. I'm interested in learning Unreal Engine, Blender. I want to do digital art, drawing, and traditional drawing. I want to be a calligrapher. I want to learn how to make music so I can make my films better. And I'm always finding all these random excuses to figure out how to connect all these things to my business and ways to maybe make money, or it would help me invest in my future in business and all. I did this map on Obsidian, an app that kind of makes these little trees and bubbles that you can connect as thoughts. And one of the things that united so much of my things that I wanted to do was YouTube. And YouTube is so frustrating because obviously I don't have a big following. I only have, 600 subscribers as of this video. And I make one video and maybe it gets 30,000 views. And I make another one after hours and days of effort and it would get 24 views. So it's very frustrating and hard sometimes to find the energy and motivation to continue doing that. I think the worst part of all of this is when you do pick a medium, finally, let's say filmmaking, video. Okay, what kind of videos do you want to do? Do you want to do business videos? Do you want to do short films? Do you want to do feature films? Do you want to do events, weddings, whatever? The list keeps going on and on. It's always so fascinating and mixed with a little bit of jealousy for me when I find someone who just knows exactly what they want to do. I met this incredible artist who does match collections. Like he uses matches to make these beautiful pieces of art and scans them and prints them and has this beautiful process, and I'm like, that is so fascinating. And I will say, if there's one thing I saw as a pattern of what makes kind of good art, or art that is desired by others and makes others intrigued, is art that leaves room for others to express themselves. Some of the Zen poems, like ancient Zen poems, they seem so simple because they leave so much room for the audience or the reader to bring their own to the table. And some would be like, oh, well, there's nothing there. Well, their nice way of saying it, or not so nice, is that you had nothing to bring. Another artist I admire a lot named Pascal Campion. He's French, and I love his work. It's so impactful, and we had such a beautiful conversation. I had a chance to bother him for a long time, and a lot of the things you were saying were confirmed by literally people walking up and saying these same things. They're like, I love how genuine and real and impactful your art is. And like there was a theme. And one of the biggest things he has said, well, there's two things. One thing is, he said, once you create a piece of art, it's no longer something you control. Like you don't control how it's perceived, and like the viewer really picks up how it's done and the story and the feelings and all these things. And I walked into a random gallery in, I think, LA, I don't remember, but I also met up with the artist and asked him some questions, and he said something similar. And I've seen this kind of as a pattern where you have to kind of let go of what comes out on the other end of art, but also maybe not force too much of yourself into it. And I think that's something I personally lack in my art. Perhaps it's because I am biased when I look at my art. Maybe some people see my art and have their own conversations. The second thing Pascal Campion, has mentioned, again, not directly to me, but in his book that I'm reading right now, and it is this fact that has been haunting me, because especially lately, and the fact is, or the thing is, that what you consume or what you love consuming as art is not necessarily what you would like creating. And in the book, he mentions that it took him a long time to figure this very important piece out. And that's making me wonder, Are all these pieces of art or all these mediums of art things I enjoy consuming but not necessarily enjoy creating? And where's the line between wanting to create something and not having the technical skills, the discipline to learn the technical skills, and not being meant to create in that medium? And that's been something I'm just struggling with because I've always loved drawing since I could remember, but I never have the patience or discipline in this case to sit down and just draw. And recently when I'm drawing and it just looks like garbage and I'm like, ugh, I'm never gonna be able to get close to some of these people. And then you have AI art that looks just insane. And then I started playing with AI art a little bit and generating things, and I had a good time, to be honest. Felt kind of weird, but to be able to describe something or sketch something and tell it to make it look good or make it look real, there is an element of fun to that. It's not the same as creating and doing something from scratch, but so yeah, this is just a video of me expressing my um yeah, expressing that honestly. And if that's something you relate with, what is a way that you've been dealing with that as an artist, as a photographer, as a filmmaker? Do you have to be an essentialist? There's a book called Essentialism that is really, really good, and it describes this phenomena as being a millimeter in a million directions. And is that something we're cursed with as people who are interested in multiple things? And do we have to kind of put the foot down and eliminate all these things that we just genuinely enjoy? Or is there a way to connect everything and live forever to do all these things? What has been your experience like? And do you relate to any of these thoughts? So, yeah, that's a question for you. Let me know. Let's get the conversation started. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.